It's Nicolas Cage, or at least a game based on the film that Nick Cage was in. Although it does slightly annoy me that they couldn't get the main character to look a little bit like him. But hey, in my head I'm Nick fucking Whoa, Cage! Heck, I'll even go so far as to say that even if I'm playing the female character, I'm still Nick Cage. I'll also say that on the day of recording, it is my birthday today, and it'd be really swell if you can hit those like and subscribe buttons. It would really mean a lot to me on this glorious day. And so let's get on to the freaking game, shall we? Your car has broken down, and of course you get tricked into being a janitor for the night in order to pay for the repairs. And so Nick Cage has to spend the night cleaning a family fun centre full of psycho animatronics. And so enter the 2.5D beat 'em up. And within this there are 6 levels, all in different areas of Willy's Wonderland. Combat consists of a combination of punch or kick or punch kick punch blah 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 blah, and a, for some unknown reason, whirlwind attack that does a lot of damage to many different characters, sucking them into this whirlpool of a tornado, and a kind of like speed attack that can only go in one direction that knocks the enemies down. And yes, these do actually have a cooldown after use. And you'd be right by thinking that this really isn't the most in-depth combat system you'll ever find. Although a quick big up to the fact that you can play it in 1 to 2 player co-op, if you've got any friends that is. The enemy characters are varied to a certain point, and when that certain point is reached, it does literally go rinse and repeat for the rest of the game. But to be fair, it does add new characters as you progress through it, and luckily enough there are bosses that are introduced, and this does break up the gameplay ever so slightly, but you are still doing almost the same thing. It is, however, pretty unfortunate that this pretty well sums up the whole game, and within this you pretty well end up doing the same thing over and over again. Although it does start getting slightly more difficult the further in you go. But just because it gets slightly more challenging later on, it doesn't deflect from the fact that you're probably going to complete it within an hour or so. Graphics and sound. I will say that admittedly the levels are actually different from each other, which was very nice to see. Unfortunately, some levels were as bland as a plank, and really stood out to be very lazy after you see the other levels with arcade machines that actually kind of look like they're working. The different enemies within the game are okay at best, but all in all give off a very basic feel to them all. And this follows through to the main characters as well that really don't look very good. And I get the whole copyright thing for Nicolas Cage, but I really did feel like they could have gone slightly further into making it look slightly more like Nicolas Cage without being copyrighted. And like and subscribe this video for Nicolas Cage because he looks nothing like him in this game. And unfortunately the sound is just as basic as the rest of the game, with not really much interesting going on here. The score. For under $5, £5, I've played a lot worse, but unfortunately I've played a hell of a lot better as well. And I felt that with a little bit more effort this game could have been a lot more. I didn't altogether hate this game, but I really wasn't clamouring to play it over and over again. And with that, I'm going to give Willy's Wonderland a 4 out of 5, a just under average score. And it's just a shame that they rode the license train here and didn't bother putting in extra effort. Let's hear it for Nick Cage, frack yeah! Because life is better when we game together.